Hi there, Tim Baker. I want to talk a little bit about when you're introducing change in your workplace, some of the do's and don'ts, because I think it's some fundamental mistakes that we make when we're introducing change. Now, it doesn't matter what the change is, but normally you've got to announce that change to your team. So it's vitally important that you do it the right way. And I see it happen all the time that this is done very poorly. And what usually happens is the manager will either send out an email, which is not a good way, or they might get their team together, they have a team meeting, and they announce the change. And they might say that as of next Tuesday, we're going to introduce a new we're going to introduce a new customer relationship management system. And it's in the best interests of the business because of blah, blah, blah. So the first fundamental mistake is that they talk very much about the benefits that this system or this process, this change initiative is going to have for the business itself. Big mistake, because what we need to do is talk about how the change is actually going to impact on the individual themselves. The most famous radio station in the world is WWIIFM, and that stands for What's in It For Me. It's the most powerful radio station in the world, and everybody's tuned into it. So what we need to do when we're introducing change is actually explain to people how the change is going to impact on the people themselves, good, bad, or indifferent. We need to explain that to people very clearly, because the first stage of change that people are in is in a state of denial, or what I call rejection. In other words, it's just business as usual. This is not going to make any great difference. We're still going to get on and have to do our jobs as of Monday. But the reality is the change is quite significant, and later on people find that out. So what we've got to try and do is jolt people out of their complacency by explaining to them how the change is actually impacting on their work right now or in the future when it's implemented. Now, another mistake that managers make is they ask people if they've got any questions at the end of, the announcement and the information. And normally there's crickets, you can't hear anything. And the interpretation that the manager thinks is, oh, well, there's no questions, there's no resistance. This is wonderful, it's going well. And of course, there is resistance, but it's not at that time. And it's because they haven't actually emotionally adjusted to the change. So a smart manager will actually announce the change based on how it will impact on the individuals and the team, and then organise another meeting, perhaps a week or 2 weeks after, and then give people an opportunity there to ask questions and air their grievances. Now, if they do that successfully, the next session will be a series of questions, and that's great because then the manager can manage that. So there's a couple of tips on introducing change, and if you want more information about this, just get a copy of my book. There it is over there. Managing Change, a practical guide for better leadership conversations. See you next time. Thank you. Bye.